This weed razor is by far the best tool for removing lake weeds, and I'm going to prove it to you in this video. I'm going to show you what this tool is, how to use it, and of course there's going to be before and after shots at the end. The tool itself is a tubular Y design, and it houses two razor blades in each of the ends. Now it goes without saying, but these things are sharp. Don't touch them. I usually wear gloves and closed-toed shoes when I'm using this tool for safety purposes. Now on the other end of the tool, you have a handle and a 25-foot rope that attaches to it. The tool itself is a throwing device that works by tossing it out into the lake and pulling it back in and cutting the weeds as you pull it back. Now you can throw this tool from the dock, a boat, or even just the shoreline. If I'm throwing from the dock, I loop the rope around one of the dock poles. If I'm throwing from a boat, I wrap it around one of the boat cleats. And if I'm throwing the tool from shore, you can loop it around your wrist. Just be sure to anchor the rope in some way so that you don't lose your tool in the water. Anchoring the rope is really important because that's what allows you to retrieve the tool after you throw it out into the water. If you do a bad job at this part, you're going to lose your tool in the bottom of the lake and you're going to be feeling around the lake bottom trying to recover it. And oh, did I mention it's got razor blades on it? Yeah, it's not a good situation for anyone. So just take your time and anchor the rope securely before you even start. Now, tossing the tool out into the lake is the most fun part. Grab it by the handle and give it a good throw. Chuck it as far as you can. I have found that a two-handed underhand throw works the best for me as far as accuracy, but also distance. Now, I'm no Olympian athlete, so while the overhead javelin throw looks cool and sounds good in theory, it usually doesn't go as far. Now, after the tool hits the water, you want to give it just a little bit of time for the tool itself to sink to the bottom. You can use this time to grab the rope and prepare for pulling it back in. As far as retrieval is concerned, I have found that a short sort of jerking pull works the best to cut the weeds versus a constant reel-in method. Now, as you pull in the tool, you'll notice a swath of weeds that start floating up to the surface as you cut them off. It's actually really cool, and it's like, wow, this thing is super effective. It's a little tricky to see in the video, but you'll see as I pull it in, you can actually see the direct path of weeds as they start floating to the surface. It's actually really kind of neat. Now, a razor tool like this can cut through grasses, weeds, lily pads. It can get through pretty much anything you're going to encounter. The best thing about this tool is how quickly and easily you can cut out large sections of lake weeds. In a very short amount of time, you can see the large area that I've managed to cut through because they're all floating to the surface. Which leads me to kind of the worst thing about this tool, and that's the cleanup. After you're done pulling your razor through the water multiple times, making multiple passes, you've got a ton of weeds floating on the surface of your water that need to go somewhere. Now, one option is just to let that crap float over to your neighbor's dock and let them deal with it. But joking aside, I have another video demonstrating a different tool called the weed rake. Now, the rake makes quick work of cleanup, and you can see it in action by clicking on the video linked here. Now, cutting out the weeds is actually just the first step in my three-step lake weed removal process. My goal with the three-step process is to eliminate weeds, get rid of that mucky bottom, and maintain it all summer long. And you can see exactly how I do all three steps in this video linked here. If you enjoyed this video, think about subscribing to the channel. I've got more content coming soon. Bye!